Hi everyone. What I'm doing now is I'm getting some yarn of different types. I've got two here that are actually ready made, not my handmade, and coloured. And I have under here two different types of wool that are my hand spin. One of them is a Portland and the other one is a mule. Okay, so I've got them and they are now pre-soaking, which I filled this up halfway. You just need it to just about to cover when the wool is underneath. But I added 2 tablespoons of citric acid. Because I'm going to be using acid dyes, really you don't need to add any extra acid to your water, but I like to add a little bit more because it actually helps bind it. And as I'm also doing 2 wools that I got from a charity shop that are already coloured, I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a chance of the wool soaking in some dye. Now this just had warm to hot water from the tap, not as hot as I would have it for washing, but what I have noticed is it's already changing colour. So the acid dye is actually, the acid in is actually taking the dye away. So that's something. Okay, that's a new thing, which I didn't know. So, and basically I'm just pushing it down to things up. I'm doing this with going along with a friend of mine on YouTube that I watch her programs quite regular, and that's Rebecca Brown. She is Cumberland's, and she does normally she does food dyes and adds it to different wools, and also nylon mixes, as I try and do most of my own wool, which I start to finish, as you know. I am doing this so that I can do a bit while I'm also listening to her. She wants to do dialogue. So this is coming out on the first one, and I'm just dyeing it, and I will be dyeing it and putting it onto the Cumberland's Lab website, the results of it. I'm not a technician, so to be quite honest, it is measured when I do the thing, but they are just as a guideline. At the end of the day, this is your project. This is mine. When you do it, this will be your project, and you can do it the way you feel. The same with the spinning, the same with the knitting. It's at the end of the day, it's your project, and you feel happy with it. And if anything, I can give you any tips. In the meantime, I am happy to do so. So this is the soaking part. This will go on for 20 minutes, and then I am going to wring them out, and I put them through a sandwich spinner, or one of my spinners that I am using. With this amount, I might put it through my bigger spinner, which I use for the wool, and we can then start hand painting it. Some I'm going to cut kettle dye, and some of it I'm going to place hand dye and place in the microwave. Okay, so I'll go through it with you as and when. But for soaking, that's basically what you do, is you fill it up with warm water, You don't need hot water, just warm water will do fine. Or even cold, some people put it in, but I find it easier to put it in with hot. It gets into the wool and you don't, it's not going to felt it. And add a bit of acid dye if you wish to, if you're not using acid dyes with acid in them, which is what I generally use. But if you have using food dyes and stuff, putting it actually in with the water while you're soaking is even better for it. Okay, thank you for listening. Okay, we'll go on to the next part of the dyeing process in a few moments. Thanks, bye.